Tosca Reno is our guest. She is the author of a new book, Your Best Body Now, and she has a best body to go with it. That's
Thank you,
good.
Fanny. Thank
well,
you.
what about your body image? As you look in the mirror, and you know, women are picky.
They are.
And we look in the mirror, and some who have bodies somewhat like yours will say, oh, but my thighs, or my belly, or my ears stick out. What is that about?
We're always going to have that, I think, as women. I think even men have it too, but I don't get hung up about those things anymore. I'm so happy to have crawled out of that dark place that I was for so many years. And I recognize now that I've found a voice to talk about my story and help inspire other women. So I'm not going to pick myself apart. They can do that if they want to.
Sure, pressure's on.
Yeah.
But what about it? What some people call improper fat accumulation? You have the perfect body. You have cellulite on your, or cellulite, whatever we're calling it these days, on your thighs. Or you have a little muffin top over your skinny jeans. How do you work on that, or what do you do?
Okay, I don't spot reduce because it's ridiculous to think that fat comes off only here. You know, as soon as you start dieting or eating clean, you'll notice your face changes. You know, the fat comes off of here. The breasts lose fat. The little bits underneath here and there, everywhere. So the fat comes off everywhere. What you can do is target your training and your nutrition. That's the important thing to keep in mind. So you can target your abdominal muscles to help you get tighter and fatter.
Sure. Now, do you mix it up? Do you do Pilates, hot yoga, other disciplines, ballet, something like that, or are you committed to the gym?
Okay, I'm committed to the gym. I don't think there's any other place that you can create shape in a body. Imagine this. In my previous life, my fat life, my butt was non-existent. It was hanging around down behind my knees. It was disgusting. Now I've learned that through weight training, you can actually take those muscles and lift, you know, and really make your pants look nice. They're working hard, you know, up there. And you can create shapes in your abdominal area, and you can give yourself shoulders, and you can give a narrow waist. And this only comes from weight training.
When you say you can do that, yes, you can, but how much time do you have to spend doing it, forming the habit?
Nice question. Well, really, the habit 10 times in, and you've got the habit down, right? It's like brushing your teeth, combing your hair. But the thing is, it's not to get crazy about it. I can spend, if I only have 10 minutes, I can spend 10 minutes in the gym and get a good sweat on, and I don't even have to go to the gym. I can do it at home.
Okay.
And there's lots of it. We put a home gym training regimen in here, as well as a gym training regimen.
Right.
So there's no excuse. And if you only had 10 or 12 minutes, you can pull it off.
And how important is it that you sweat?
Well, you should sweat. It's a sign that your body's gotten to that point where fat burning is happening.
Okay.
So it's a good sign. You want it, and it feels fantastic.
It does feel good. I'm always happy after.
It feels great.
You know, I drag myself there.
I know.
I'm happy after. Pilates is better because you don't perspire all that much at Pilates.
Right.
But it feels good for your body and your core and your mind.
Yeah.
If you can get addicted to the mind thing after fitness.
You think about the mind space before you get there. Because to me, the gym is not about punishment. Remember, I was a very broken person when I started lifting weights. And so now, when I lift weights, every time I lift a set of weights over my shoulders, it's a rep I've done that's rebuilt that brokenness inside of me.
How did you get over the embarrassment of being the fat person in the gym?
Well, I was inspired by other people who were heavier than me, who are at the gym. And I thought, you know, each of us is an example to the others who are still thinking about it. So I need to be brave and go on, because I know what my goal is. No one's going to stop me.
What about inner beauty, peace of mind, meditation? As you know, we're all in search of who we really are.
That's right.
Did that come to you,
Very much.
the self-examination, after you were fitter? Or before?
It began almost when the journey began, because I was so broken that I could say I was hungry for change. I didn't like how I was anymore, and I needed to make change. So I basically just plugged my nose and jumped off the cliff. And we discussed in Your Best Body Now that the mind has to come on the journey first. It has to be in place almost before the body's ready, because the mind has to be willing, but the you know.
Right.
And I found that the sense of, I don't know, restored balance came back to me very quickly, and yeah, I felt the best in the gym. I just felt great. I knew the results. It's not about the aesthetic package. You know, that's great. That's almost more important was the discipline was getting my life back together.
And your energy. Oh. And your lust. And all of that. How did he help you, the new husband? Robert Kennedy, no relation to the Kennedys.
No, we get that a
Darn.
lot. Well, Robert has been able to spot trends in the business. Trish Stratus, as we know from wrestling, and Vicky Pratt and so on. He can spot people who he thinks are going to make it, and he is like the sun to grass. You know, he opened me up. He opened my eyes. He taught me. He coached me. He guided me. I wouldn't be where I am today without Robert.
See, it's an interesting bond. And if you don't have a Robert, is the next question. You knew it was coming.
Then I'm it.
You're it.
But that's in my books.
As you know, many people don't have a Robert who owns Oxygen magazine, or even a mate who wants to work out. But sometimes it's more fun to get fit if you have someone who will go with you.
It helps.
Or meet you there.
That's right. So we have the books, Your Best Body Now, and a whole platform of things in the book that help you, your tools, you're writing it down, you're sharing. We also have an online community that's enormous. Long before people were into Twitter and so on, I had my social media in place because for women to make change, it's very frightening. They're often on their own. And I was in the beginning, so I understand that. We all need to reach out to one another. We call ourselves the Sisters in Strength. Or if you're a runner, Sisters in Speed. My kitchen table community is fierce. We support each other. The stories, you know, every day, some story of a person shared with me, it brings me to tears.
Sure.
So it's a tremendous arena in which to not only reach out and get support for yourself, but to share your story, ask your questions. And so we're out there.
Right. Well, if you go on Barbara Walters, which you may someday, she'll bring you to tears. She always does. But I know you've been with Montel Williams and Dr. Phil. What did you talk to Dr. Phil about?
Well, at the Dr. Phil show, I was the mannequin. I was modeling this new body.
Oh, you were the mannequin.
Well,
Perfect.
But you got to figure it. I mean, here's a 42-year-old woman who had got off the couch just 3 years ago, and I'm on Dr. Phil. The next thing was the doctors. There I was with the panel of these distinguished people, and I felt like, okay, this is my home. Let's go. Let's talk. I can keep up with you people. And Robin Roberts was just a brilliant interview. I really admire her.
How great.
So you know, I have to kind of shake my head.
From Frumpy Mom, the former you, to the dynamite woman who eats kale, starfruit, coconut butter, oatmeal, grilled chicken.
That's right.
All of that. And you also work out. Now, some people work out too much, as you know. Gym rat is probably not a very nice term.
There's a body dysmorphia going on,
Yeah, very much so. Addicted.
Yeah. Well, the weird thing is that the more you train, it's not going to make you look better, oddly. In fact, the more you train, you can often look stringy and almost ill, and because you begin to catabolize and break down the muscle that you're supposed to be building to give you shape. So it's important. It's one of the most powerful things that happened to me was when I had a woman come up to me who was 18 years old who said, I thank you for teaching me how to eat and train in balance because I was just released from the hospital as an anorexic and I was about to die. Her parents are standing behind me bawling their eyes out, and I'm thinking, oh, this is a huge responsibility. A lot of people have this issue, and it's eating in balance and training in balance.
Sure, because obsessive, compulsive, anorexic, bulimic, it can go on to be
cyclical.
Now addicted. I'll find something, now it'll be the gym, and you don't want that either because you want to strike the superwoman balance.
Exactly.
If you can, when you can. So what's next after clean diet, Your Best Body Now?
Well, we made the New York Times bestseller list with this one, so I'm thrilled about that. What's next? We have 3 books coming out this year under the Eat Clean title, which is exciting. It's coming, Eat Clean Diet Stripped. How to lose the last 10 pounds.
Called?
The Eat Clean Diet Stripped, How to Lose the Last 10 pounds.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And do you sleep well?
I sleep like a baby. Very important. I was not a sleeper before, but I need to get a good 8 hours sleep.
Really?
I do. I think it's hugely restorative, especially if you've had a very busy full day. That is the thing, the icing on the cake that completes. And we talk about sleep in there.
Yeah.
It's very important to get enough sleep.
Sure is, because everything's apparently healing up in the night.
And all those subliminal messages, you know, they sort of cement in your brain.
And you talk about menopause in here too.
I do. I've gone through it. I sailed through it.
It's really important. You sailed through menopause.
Yeah,
You're one of them.
I felt like I didn't want to tell women because it was so easy for me. I didn't have issues. And I shared this in Your Best Body Now. And it's crazy because you're supposed to be sweating and I'm schwitzing and I got to change my sheets and everything. Okay, well, that didn't happen to me.
Yes.
I know it's the food. I know it.
The food's really important. And you can schwitz a little, and if you have a little trouble, well, you do. It goes away one fine day.
Fanny,
nice to meet you.
How lovely you are. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Tosca Reno, best-selling author of The Eat Clean Diet, a new one, Your Best Body Now.